start with an opening statement from Coach Kingston. Then if you have questions, raise your hand. We'll bring the microphone to you. All right, Coach.
Thank you to everybody for being here today. We're anxious to get this season started, as I know our fans are, as I know our players and everybody that supports us are. Last year was a little bit of a tough year for us for a lot of different reasons. We've put that in the rearview mirror, and we're anxious to get back on the field to kind of make it right. Our team's worked extremely hard since the day that season ended in every area, evaluating every part of the program to make sure that what happened last year to us, for some reasons in our control, some reasons out of our control, never happened again. So that being said, we're very anxious to get this season started. I feel good about where the team is right now. We have a nice mix of vets and young guys. We have a lot of experience. We remain one of the younger teams in the country, but by the same token, a lot of those young guys are very experienced from last year. So want to get this season going. Jealous that softball gets to start in 2 days. We still have to wait a little bit longer, but we're raring to go, and I think I'm speaking for everybody in our team that we're ready to start to make things right.
Coach, speed, power, pitching, and defense. I know that's your mantra. It has been since I've known you here. How close are you to having all four of those components more consistently for this year?
Well, I'll start with pitching because I think pitching is number one. Speed and power are fun to watch on the highlights, but you better have pitching if you're going to be the kind of team, the kind of program you want to be. I think our pitching is far ahead of what we were last year. We lost two really good ones to the pro draft last year with Lawson and Eveld. But the depth of guys, when you factor in our injured guys that are now returning, when you factor in some new players that are in this year's recruiting class, and then you talk about the continued growth that Billy Mole has done with our guys like the guy to my right, I feel a lot better about our options going into this season. No disrespect to last year's team, but we had to deal with a lot of adversity. Knock on wood, so far this year, guys appear to be at full strength, and we've seen a lot of improvement on the pitching staff. So from a pitching standpoint, I think we're in a much better situation. Speed and power, I think people know that we have speed and power. Now, do we get on base enough? Do we drive runners in when they're on base? That's going to be a key thing for us in terms of the next step of our progression. We have to do a good job of getting guys on base first at a much better rate than we did last year, and then once they're on, we need to do a better job when guys are in RBI situations. But from a power and speed standpoint, I think we'll match up with just about anybody we play. We've played 5 inter-squad games so far this spring. We have 10 home runs. So we have a power team. Now we need to make sure we're getting on base enough to take advantage of that. And I think our defense will be very good this year. I think our defense will be very good all around the field.
Coach, last year you obviously had a young team fielding almost an entire team of freshmen at times. From what you've seen over the offseason and coming into the season, which of those freshmen are ready to take that next step and kind of step up and become the core guys for you?
You know, that's a very good question. It's hard to single anybody out because I think as a group they've all gotten better. So I don't want to single any one person out at the exclusion of others. But I will say that the difference between freshmen and sophomores are more than just 1 year. Bobby Knight said it a long time ago. He said the best thing about freshmen is they turn into sophomores, and I would agree. Just from the limited number of headaches they give you as sophomores compared to freshmen, their strength levels, their experience levels, their maturity levels. By and large, that sophomore group is much more ready to play and win games than they were last year. They were all thrown into the fire last year, and they held their own. But now we're ready for them to take that next step, and I think we're seeing signs that they are.
Mark, you guys were picked pretty low in the preseason poll. Does that give you guys a chip on your shoulder, knowing that now that you're back at full strength as a team, you can kind of come back up to the ranks there and make an impact at the top of the conference? Yeah,
there's been a few polls come out. I think we've been as low as 6 and as high as 4, and everywhere in between. What I like to, the way I'm looking at it is they don't know what our personnel looks like. So we're going to look at it as if they don't know about Shane McClanahan. They don't know about the improvement of Kevin Merrill. They don't know about the improvement of Phoenix Sanders. They don't know what our recruiting class looks like. So how could anybody really know how good we're going to be? That's our approach. And I happen to think that we're going to be better than most people think. we're going to have to go out on the field and prove it. Is it motivation? Maybe for the guys it is, but I think last year was enough motivation for us to bounce back this year. So I don't know that we need any additional motivation. Our approach is every day just to go out and work our butts off, and that's what we're doing. So if some guys are using that as motivation, so be it.
Phoenix, in your first year with USF last year, what did you learn from being thrust in the role of Friday night starter that you're going to take away and use to become better this year?
Well, it was definitely like an awesome experience. Like, you come in and being a JUCO transfer, I didn't know what my role was going to be. So a couple injuries went down, and he gave me the ball on Fridays, and it was just kind of like an exhilarating thing. So having that feeling and like knowing, I know what I need to do now from a full year standpoint. Like you said, the beginning was very good, kind of lulled in the middle, kind of had some good starts. Now I realize like I've got to maintain a consistency from the beginning to the end. It's different from a JUCO season. We had like 40 games. Now we got 56 with the conference tournament. And just kind of take away, you don't have to strike everybody out. You can kind of rely on your defense. Like he's saying now, we have a year experience of our hitters. So I'll run, support, defense. Everything's going to be at a tick better. I'll be a tick better. So I believe just keep working hard and it'll just pan out.
Back to Phoenix, to kind of follow up on that a little bit. You're a senior. You go about your business like a senior, and for those of us that follow the team really closely, it's not a slight to any of the underclassmen. It's just a different feel. Is that a role you embrace? And secondarily, I've always said I thought you could throw the slider with your eyes closed. Have you ever tried?
I actually did it once, actually, in the bullpen. I was looking at a kid while I threw. It was kind of funny. And, yeah, it's a comfortable pitch I've kind of been able to throw. But I've always had the persona of just – it was like scripted to me at Daytona. It was you go there and you handle your business. And that's just – it's been since I was 10 years old. That's how my parents raised me. It was like – my mom still says it to this day, like, you need to have a poker face. She's like, if you give up a home run, if you throw a complete game shutout, you go, you shake your teammate's hand, you shake the other guy's hand, and you just go about your business. So it just keeps you even keel. And, again, I try my best to stay even keel, keep my emotions in check, and just allow people to feed off that energy. Like, you can have fun. I'm not saying I have a lot of fun playing baseball. I try to show that. But from a standpoint, if you can just almost, like you said, consistency, the same thing with the slider or whatever it is, I just feel confident in myself where if I do what I need to do, my actions will speak more than me yelling at somebody or me getting all raw and fist bumping. It'll just, the numbers at the end of the day will prove what I need to do.
Phoenix, this was you're going into your second year at D1. What was the difference between going from JUCO last year and then this past offseason?
Well, JUCO, it's kind of a different monster. Like we always talk about how we showed up in August and the first day we're on campus we had practice. It's just what it is. So I think the maintenance is different. So the off-season preparation, I usually take every summer off because I've been lucky enough to throw plus innings each of my years. And now worked really hard in the weight room in the summer and the spring. I feel I'm 8 pounds heavier. I feel stronger. So an overall, like, transition, baseball is baseball. Like, if you talk to me, I'll tell you, like, you still got to throw it. You still got to make pitches. I could leave pitches down the middle, and a high school kid could hit a double. Same thing. So it's just continue to work hard. It's really what it is. It's the same. It's just baseball is baseball to me personally.
Kevin, you're going into your third season. What have you? How has your mindset changed from when you first came in as a freshman to now going into this your junior season?
Jeff, I thought I was going to get out of here without getting any questions. When you come in as a freshman, I mean, there's a learning curve. There's definitely a learning curve, and sometimes it takes a little bit longer than others. But I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot, especially from Coach. I mean, he's been a huge help in my development to now, and I'm real thankful for that. But just the experience, just going out there and playing, like you were saying with our freshmen last year, the experience they got last year was invaluable, and going into this year, it's going to just make them so much better. So that's the biggest thing, I think, just going out there playing, getting experience, getting comfortable, and going out there and having fun. So.
Coach, after losing Tommy Evil, do you know how the back end of the game is going to work out with closing and taking on the 8th and 9th inning roles?
Yeah, we have some guys at this point that we think we're kind of steering in that direction. Andrew Perez has made a huge jump this year from a velocity standpoint, from a control standpoint. he's going to be a guy you look at towards the end of the games. Mike Farley is going to be a guy we look at towards the end of the games. And there's some other guys that we have a group of guys that we're trying to figure out, should they be starters or should they be back of the bullpen guys. So there's a few more guys that we still have about a week and a half to make that final decision. Those are two guys we know will be at the back, and now we're still looking at some guys that are potential swing guys that could be a starter but also could give us depth at the back of the bullpen. So we have options. Now it's a matter of figuring out how to put the best pieces of the puzzle together. But I like the pieces, I can tell you that.
Coach, let's go to the other end. From my eye, it looks like you've got 3 to maybe 4 Friday night guys this year. Are you ready to announce 3 of them that might be ready for the weekend?
The guys that I would say are in most serious consideration, obviously Phoenix Sanders is a guy that will be in the weekend rotation. Shane McClanahan has a chance to be a special pitcher, hopefully sooner rather than later. He's being strongly considered for the weekend. Peter Strzelecki is being considered for in the weekend rotation. Ryan Valdez, who's coming back from injury, is being considered in the weekend rotation. And then we have some young freshmen and Joe Cavallaro that are still trying to decide what's the best role for them. So I would say that's a quick look at who we're considering at this point, and we feel good about all of them. Whether they're all Friday night guys, as you said, the field will prove that, but we like what we have right now.
Good.
Through your first week of team practice, what has stood out to you from the freshmen that have come in?
Well, I think from a pitching standpoint, we have some pitchers that are ready to help us right away. From a position player standpoint, we have talented players. Now it's up to us to decide how much are they ready for. We don't want to put too much on their plate right away. So we have to figure out, is their talent equal to their preparation and their readiness to play yet? We have some guys with big power. We have some guys with speed. Now, are they ready to play and help us win at this point? Or do they need some more seasoning and some more development? That's a big thing for the freshmen, the newcomers that are freshmen that we have. They're talented. We just need to figure out, are they ready to make that jump to being a Division I starter yet? That's still to be determined.
Kevin, going into your junior year, what do you see that the scouts have told you that maybe you need to improve on this season to take your game to the next level?
I mean, the scouts are great and all, but we don't really listen to them too much. We listen
That's not true.
We listen to Coach Kingston. I play here at USF, and he's our head coach. So, what he tells me what I need to improve
Well,
upon.
we respect the scouts very much.
Absolutely,
I'm sure you do.
absolutely. But I've definitely been trying to work on more gap-to-gap power. To answer your question, I make contact a lot, but sort of trying to drive the ball a little bit better. So that's kind of been one of the things. And moving to shortstop has been a big thing as well. I mean, I played there a lot when I was younger, but I haven't played a lot recently. So I've been getting a lot of reps over there and getting more comfortable over there as well.
To expand on that, I would tell you that the things we look for and try to help our players develop in are 99% of the time the same thing the pro scouts are looking for. Because of our background, we kind of look at the game the same way. So generally when we tell a player this is what you need to improve on, the scouts are going to approve of that because it's the same thing they want.
Wait, time for one more question. Good? All right.
All right, we'll see you at the field. Thanks, guys
Thanks,
and girls.